recently made a video on living frugally in the Bahamas, but unfortunately that is going to change, or has changed, with the new Bahamas entry requirements, which came into effect on July 1st, 2025. So this year. I was just sent them by one of my followers. So I will just tell you what the new requirements are. For every vessel over 50 feet, you are now required to carry a properly functioning automatic identification system, an AIS, that is turned on at all times, even when you're at anchor and even when you're in a marina. And there are big fines if you are caught without it switched on. So make sure it's switched on. And the entry now, the cruising permit, is for under 50 feet, $500, 50 to 100 feet, $1,000, and over 100 feet, $3,000. And it says each permit covers 2 entries within 30 days. I'm a bit confused about that, because the cruising permit, it also says the cruising permits are valid for 12 months, as long as the vessel remains in Bahamian waters. So I'm assuming what they're saying is if you leave more than twice, that is null and void and you have to do it again. I'm not quite sure about that. That doesn't make sense to me. Presumably if you go in and out 3 times during the 30 days, you then have to pay another $500 or more, depending on the size of your boat. And then the fishing permits are now on top of the entry fee, which used to be included in the fee. So now there's a $100 fee for under 50 feet and $300 for over 50 feet. So effectively you're now paying $600 when you come in. It doesn't say how long the fishing permit lasts. I'm not sure if that's 3 months or 12 months, because if it's only 3 months, then you'll have to renew it every 3 months. And then also pleasure vessels carrying more than 3 passengers at or above 6 years of age must pay an additional $30 non-resident tax per person. And then the one that kills me is there is now an anchoring fee. So you can't just come over and relax now. They're making it unpleasant. So the anchoring fee, if you're under 50 feet, is $200. 50 to 100 feet is $350, and if you're over 100 feet, $1,500. And it doesn't say if that's for the full year. Is that 3 months? I don't know. And there's also the system they have now. When your visa expires and they give you 3 months when you enter, you then have to go and apply for a further 2, which costs $200 each time you do it. So that adds up quite quickly if you're wanting to stay for a long time, like I am. I was lucky that the immigration officer gave me 6 months when I came in. I was very lucky that he did that. Of course, if you fly out and fly back in, then there's no fee to pay, because I guess you're paying the Bahamian Air people, so they waive that. And then it's at the discretion of the officer how long he gives you when you come back in, but I understand it's usually about 3 months, same as the US. But anyway, it's all gone up. There's charges for everything now. There'll probably be charges for peeing over the side at some point. So keep your buckets handy. Anyway, that's a shame, isn't it? But the whole world is changing. It's getting greedy. It's just money, money, money. And I used to love it here because it felt so free, and I felt welcome. Now I feel like unless you're flashing lots of money about, you're not quite so welcome. Although I shouldn't say that, because the Bahamians themselves are lovely, lovely people, so friendly. And I'm having a wonderful time here, even though I'm doing it on a budget. So you can still do it on a budget, but you'll need a bit more of a budget than you did before. Oh, a little PS. I forgot to mention that there is a frequent digital cruising card, which will allow unlimited entries for a 2-year period. If you're under 50 feet, that's $1,500. 50 to 100 feet, $2,500. Over 100 feet, $8,000 for the big guys. So that might be a little bit cheaper if you know you're coming backwards and forwards a lot, but that seems a lot to me. Anyway, it's another option, I guess.